On behalf of this church family, I want to welcome you to our Maundy Thursday service. Maundy comes from the Latin word mandatum, which means mandate, which refers to a command. On this night, we remember the Last Supper Jesus ate with his disciples. 5 of John's 21 chapters in his gospel record the events of this one night, a clear significance of how important it is. The first part of the service takes you to the upper room. It is on this night at the supper that Jesus commanded his disciples to love one another, serve one another, and to remember him through the breaking of bread and sharing of wine. So join us as we retrace this night and the following day in the life of Jesus with scriptures, hymns, and choral music. Part 2 of the service, known as the Tenebrae service, or Shadows, takes you from the table to the cross. Again, using only the scriptures with some lights, sounds, and choral music, it is our hope that this service will be a blessing to you all. When it is finished, please stay seated, reflect on what happened, and when the sconces come on and you are ready, please exit quietly.
I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life.
It was just before the Passover meal. Jesus knew that the time had come for him to leave this world and go to the Father. Having loved his own who were in the world, he now showed them the full extent of his love. The evening meal was about being served, and the devil had already prompted Judas to betray Jesus. Jesus knew that the Father had put all things under his power, and that he had come from God and was returning to God. So Jesus gets up from the meal and begins to wash the disciples' feet.
Teacher, wait. Are you going to wash my feet?
Peter, you do not know what I am doing, but later you will understand.
No, you will never wash my feet.
Peter, unless I wash you, you have no part with me.
Well, then teacher, not just my feet, but my hands and my head as well.
A man who has had a bath needs only wash his feet. Then his whole body is clean. So too are you clean, though not all of you. You call me master and teacher, and rightfully so, for that is what I am. And so now if I, your master and teacher, wash your feet, so should you wash one another's feet. I tell you the truth. No servant is greater than his master, and no messenger is greater than the one who sent him. Now that you know these things, do them, and you will be blessed. I am not referring to all of you, though. One of you will betray me.
Am I the one, Lord?
What? Surely not I, Lord.
one of you who has just eaten from the bowl with me, he is the one who will betray me.
Is it I, Lord?
You have said it. Yes.
As the evening meal continues, the disciples continue to ask each other what Jesus meant when he said, "For the Son of Man must die." They also questioned why Judas had left and if he was going to return. Finally, Jesus interrupts the small talk and stands.
I have eagerly desired to eat this Passover meal with you. I tell you the truth, I will not eat this meal again until its meaning has been fulfilled in my Father's kingdom. This is my body, which is given for you. Take and eat. Take and eat, and do this in remembrance of me. This is my blood, shed for the forgiveness of all sins. I tell you, I will not drink of the fruit of the vine again until I drink it anew with you in my Father's kingdom. Now the Son of Man is glorified, and God is glorified in him. If God is glorified in him, God will glorify the Son himself, and I will glorify him. I will only be with you a little longer. You will search for me, but as I told the Jews in the synagogues, you will search, but you cannot come to where I am going. My new commandment to you is this: love one another so that as I have loved you. By this you will show yourselves to be my apostles. Love one another as I have loved you.
Lord, where are you going?
Where I am going, you cannot follow, but I will come for you.
Lord, why can't I go with you now? I will lay down my life for you.
Will you, Peter? Will you lay down your life for me? I tell you the truth. Before the rooster crows 3 times, you will deny me. Do not let your hearts be troubled. Trust in God. Trust also in me. In my Father's house there are many rooms. I would not tell you this if it were not so. And no, if I go to prepare a place for you there, surely I will bring you to be there with me. You know the way to where I'm going.
Lord, we don't know where you are going, so how are we supposed to know the way?
I am the way and the truth and the light. No one comes to the Father except through me. If you really knew me, you would know my Father. From now on, you do know him and have seen him.
Lord, show us the Father, and that will be enough for us.
Don't you know me, Philip, even after all this time we have been together? Anyone who has seen me has seen the Father. How can you say, show us the Father? Don't you believe me when I say that I am in the Father and he is in me? The words I say to you are not just my own. They come from my Father who sent me, and it is me doing his works through me. Believe in me when I say that I have come from the Father, or at the very least believe in the evidence of the miracles themselves. I tell you the truth. All who believe in me will do what I have been doing, and they will do greater things still, for I will go to be with my Father. And know that I will do whatever you ask in my name, for the Son shall bring glory to the Father. You may ask me anything in my name, and I will do it. If you love me, you'll obey me. And I will ask my Father to send to you a counselor to be with you for all time, the Spirit of truth. The world cannot accept him because it neither sees him nor knows him. But you know him, for you have believed that I came from God. I will not leave you as orphans. I will return for you. Before long, the world will not see me, but you will see me. Because I live, so too will you live. And on that day, you will realize that I am in my Father, and he is in me, and I am in you. Whoever has my commands and obeys them, he is the one who loves me. And he who loves me will be loved by my Father, and I will love him and show myself to him.
Lord, why do you intend to show yourself to us and not to the world?
If anyone loves me, he will obey me. My Father will love him, and he will come to him and make our home with him. He who does not love me will not obey me. The words you hear, they are not my own. They are the Father speaking through me. All of this I have spoken while with you. But when he comes, the Spirit, the Counselor, he will remind you of all I have taught you and guide you into all knowledge. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give to you. I do not give as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled. Do not be afraid. In a little while, you won't see me anymore, but then you will see me again. Are you asking yourselves what I mean? I tell you the truth. You will weep and mourn over what will happen to me. You will weep while the world rejoices, but then your joy will be. No one will take away from you. And in that day, you will no longer ask me anything. I tell you the truth, the Father will give whatever you ask in my name. Until now, you have not asked for anything in my name. Ask, and you will receive, and your joy will be complete. Though I have been speaking figuratively about my Father, a time is coming, and has come, when I will speak plainly. And in this way, you will ask in my name. I am not saying that you will ask me and I will ask my Father on your behalf. I will give you what you ask in my name, because you have believed that I have come from the Father and entered this world. Soon, I will leave this world and return to my Father.
Lord, now you are speaking clearly and without figures of speech. We can see that you know everything.
You believe at last, but a time is coming and has come when you will be scattered, each to his own home. You will leave me all alone. But I am not alone, for I will be with my Father. I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In this world, you will have trouble. But take heart, for I have overcome the world. Father, the time has come. Glorify your Son, so that your Son may glorify you. For you granted him authority over all people, that he might give eternal life to all those who have given him. Now this is eternal life, that they may know you, the only true God, and Jesus Christ, whom you have sent. I have brought you glory on earth by completing the work you gave me to do. And now, Father, glorify me in your presence with the glory I had with you before the world began. I am coming to you now, but I say these things while I am still in the world, so that I may have the full measure of my joy within them. I have given them your word, and the world hated them, for they are not of this world any more than I am of the world. My prayer is not that you take them out of the world, but that you protect them from the evil one. They are not of the world, even as I am not of it. Sanctify them by the truth. Your word is truth. As you sent me into the world, I sent them into the world. For them I sanctify myself, that they too may truly be sanctified. My prayer is not for them alone. I pray also for those who will believe in me through their message, that all of them may be one, Father, just as you are in me and I am in you. May they also be in us, so that the world may believe that you have sent me. I have given them the glory that you gave me, that they may be one as we are one, I in them and you in me. May they be brought to complete unity, to let the world know that you sent me and have loved them even as you have loved me. Father, I want those you have given me to be with me where I am, and to see my glory, the glory you have given me because you loved me before the creation of the world. Righteous Father, though the world does not know you, I know you, and they know you have sent me. I have made you known to them, and will continue to make you known, in order that the love you have for me may be in them, and that I myself may be in them.
When he had finished praying, Jesus left with his disciples and crossed the Kidron Valley. the shadow of agony and loneliness. After dinner, Jesus went with his disciples to a garden called Gethsemane, and he said to them, "Sit here while I go over there and pray." He took Peter and the two sons of Zebedee along with him, and he began to be sorrowful and troubled. Then Jesus said to them, "My soul is overwhelmed with sorrow to the point of death. Stay here and keep watch with me. Pray that you will not fall into temptation." He withdrew about a stone's throw beyond them, fell with his face to the ground and prayed, "My Father, if it is possible, may this cup be taken from me, yet not as I will, but as you will." Then he returned to his disciples and found them sleeping. "Could you men not keep watch with me for 1 hour?" he asked Peter. "Watch and pray so you will not fall into temptation. The spirit is willing, but the body is weak." He went away a second time and prayed, "My Father, if it is not possible for this cup to be taken away unless I drink it, may your will be done." When he came back, he again found them sleeping because their eyes were heavy. So he left them and went away once more and prayed the third time, saying the same thing. Then he returned to the disciples and said to them, "Are you still sleeping and resting? Look, the hour is near, and the Son of Man is betrayed into the hands of sinners. Look, here comes my betrayer."
At that moment, Jesus said to the crowd, "Have you come up with swords and clubs to arrest me like you would an outlaw? Day after day I sat teaching in the temple courts, yet you did not arrest me. But this is your hour, when darkness reigns?" Then all the disciples left him and fled. Then seizing him, they led him away and took him into the house of the high priest.
The shadow of denial and accusation. Those who had arrested Jesus took him to Caiaphas, the high priest, where the teachers of the law and the elders had assembled. But Peter followed him at a distance, right up to the courtyard of the high priest. he entered and sat down with the guards to see the outcome. The chief priests and the whole Sanhedrin were looking for false evidence against Jesus so they could put him to death. But they did not find any, though many false witnesses came forward. Finally, 2 came forward and declared, "This fellow said, 'I am able to destroy the temple of God and rebuild it in 3 days.'" Then the high priest stood up and said to Jesus, "Are you not going to answer? What is this testimony that these men are bringing against you?" But Jesus remained silent. The high priest said to him, "I charge you under oath by the living God that you are the Messiah, that if you are the Messiah, the Son of God." "You have said so," Jesus replied. "But I say to all of you, from now on you will see the Son of Man sitting at the right hand of the Mighty One and coming on the clouds of heaven." Then the high priest tore his clothes and said, "He has spoken blasphemy. Why do we need any more witnesses? Look, now you've heard the blasphemy. What do you think?" "He is worthy of death," they answered. Then they spit in his face and struck him with their fists. Others slapped him and said, "Prophesy to us, Messiah, who hit you?" Two disciples. the shadow of death. When they came to the place called the Skull, there they crucified him along with the criminals, one on his right, the other on his left. Jesus said, "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." And they divided up his clothes by casting lots. The people stood watching, and the rulers even sneered at him. They said, "He saved others. Let him save himself if he is the Christ of God, the chosen one." The soldiers also came up and mocked him. They offered him wine vinegar and said, "If you are the king of the Jews, save yourself." There was a written notice above him that read, "This is the King of the Jews." One of the criminals who hung there hurled insults at him. "Aren't you the Christ? Save yourself and us." But the other criminal rebuked him. "Don't you fear God?" he said. "Since you're under the same sentence, we are punished justly, for you're getting what our deeds deserved. But this man has done nothing wrong." Then he said to Jesus, "Remember me when you come into your kingdom." Jesus answered him, "I tell you the truth. Today you'll be with me in paradise."
Suffering
It was now about the 6th hour, and darkness came over the whole land until the 9th hour. For the sun stopped shining, and the curtain of the temple was torn in two. Jesus called out with a loud voice,
Father, into your hands I commit my spirit. It is finished.